This is a bunch of different messages channeled plus lovely tarot for the 5D community. So 5D Collective are people with a human love narrative. They don't do the human suffering narrative. They also understand how to return home to their whole 3-year-old open-hearted self. So the inner child, that's either organically they work through life and get to become their beautiful, fun inner child self with no self-sabotage, no imposter syndrome, none of that. Or they get out of all of that with the good therapists that are out there today. So here in 5D collective land, we don't do the shiny tooth fairy object. We say things as they are because we're talking to grown-ups. Okay, so a whole 3-year-old heart. And here I'm going to use, this is a beautiful, for anybody who's interested, Chakra Wisdom Complete Oracle Guide. And it's a guidebook. And here, gossip. So while people who are not yet, they're full-on grown-ups, go to 4D mystics because that's for the people who are looking for the shiny. So things like, let's find out how your gifts are going to help the world. It's not about your gifts not helping the world. It's that a grown-up knows we all have gifts. And a grown-up is a healthy self-worth person. Thank you, Terry Real, who explains it really well when he talks about how he helps people to learn how to love themselves, because this is confusing for a person who does not have a whole 3-year-old open-hearted. Why 3? Because the first 3 years of our life, it's all implicit memory. And again, I actually don't want to do psych education when I'm channeling guidance too much, but I can explain it. So in the meantime, though, it's a 1212 beautiful portal for the 5D collective. The 4D collective, I have noticed, I've been on this lovely journey for a while now of the 5D. I use the word not because it's woo-woo, because it means oneness, consciousness, unconditional love, and I get to bring to you the human element. Human element is what you are, your whole body is, but if you don't know that you have an inner child, and if that inner child has a broken heart, well, people who have childhood trauma, if they're with good therapists, they learn how to become their grown-up version. And I have one good therapist for them that also was a childhood trauma survivor and still is, obviously was, meaning with trauma and shame and defectiveness. And he has a really great way of presenting how projection takes place from those who are suppressing their emotions. In fact, as he points out, they don't do the emotional lifting. They just like to tell people that humanity is going soft, or to those who are healing and have to use some distance from the family members that don't want to go to get therapy. And so when he gets, this is Patrick Tiahan and his community. It's an amazing community. I follow him on YouTube. It's free content. He shares how a person can't heal from their childhood trauma by going to, I'm a Reiki practitioner, for example, a Reiki practitioner, and I completely agree. In fact, I don't offer Reiki unless you want personal development from the website you'll find, because that's the point. I don't do half-ass things. Shiny might be from my hiney, but it's not a hiney. I actually use my brain and I care about what I do. So I don't sell to you because I'm not selling something. I'm actually supporting someone. Oh yes, that's right, the other part. So 4D keep on talking about themselves like they need to be kept in check, so they're not even reparented yet. So example would be the universe and source, and or even an entity. We could use any name. So if you haven't moved into Enlightenment the human way yet, and you're not in the 5D, you're going to keep on doing that lingo, which is why they have ancient silverbacks for the ethical groups that get to come together and, again, what's the word that they were using? Oh yes, you need to make sure that you're going to be, tested while being given the stuff that you want. And so anytime I hear that, I'm like, wow, how old are you? Oh, that's right, we're all 3. But some of us have the adult self leading us. So I don't wait for the universe to send me something. And I actually always knew this, but let me put me into the side and let me read for a minute. Gossip. So whenever I've been part of it, no, I was as a teenager, maybe a little bit, but I talked about it with my friends and I said, I think that I don't like gossip, but I think that we all talk about people in general. So I think that we all gossip essentially, but the gossip that some people do when they have an inner critic and an outer critic. So the ones who have low self-esteem, back to Terry Real, thank you. Terry Real, he explains what healthy self-worth is and how he helps his clients to love themselves and know how to not feel superior or inferior. Some of us organically know this. It's called an open heart. Yes, so spontaneity. And no, not thinking you're better than anyone, but not being in the... So I personally don't have shame, not even a little bit. And as a teenager, I recognized what confidence did to my emotionally immature, low self-esteem friends. And then I grew up and found out that not everybody has learned how to be their grown-up, healthy self-worth self. So a whole 3-year-old heart stands like this, and it's unwavering. And anyone who has a hot button, it's not about energy vampires 4D. So sorry. No, it's called low self-esteem because a person has to work with their nervous system if they're going to get themselves into state of compassion and stand up straight. Let me stand up straight, in fact, and then let me keep talking. So we don't beg the universe don't test us. And even if there were some sort of entity created, some of us got held with what is called equanimity and not shamed. And that's why we're not afraid of things. And that's why we are not rude. We actually know what it means to be a grown-up and to civilly treat all people. It's called being present, not having a reactiveness from my nervous system, and not thinking of shit from my brain, because you haven't done anything for me to have to think about stereotypes or stigmas. That's limited consciousness. By the way, and all of those tales are really great stories. They're not the data points of how you are going to be not securely attached the minute you have low self-esteem, indirect communication, passive-aggressive, and manipulate words in a way that I will know what you're doing, but I won't care too much to do anything about it because I'm an open-hearted 3-year-old who is having fun with life, because you're not a physical threat. You're not a lion, you're not a bear, not a tiger. And luckily for me, I don't live war in my head. I don't ruminate. That's what a 5D. We don't do what 4D does. They're all over that one when it comes to people. So let me read our message before I run out of time. Charmaine Chartreuse. This card represents the truly open heart with no personal agenda other than love. It could also indicate other stuff, like denying yourself. And a lot of people, they actually do deny who they are because they don't look at humanity with an open heart. No, they say, you can't trust people, Maria, or to whoever it is. There's somebody who's toxic behind the scenes. Oh, they're coming after you with some story. If there are, it's going to be people with low self-esteem. Pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, let's leave them alone. They'll find a good therapist eventually. That's exactly how we do it. I'm not a person's therapist. Secure attachment people don't need healthy boundaries because we already know what a healthy boundary is. Don't talk down to me. Don't talk up to me. Healthy self-worth. Thank you, Terry Real. I'm not superior and inferior to you, so talk straight at my eyes and use a tone that lets me know that you're a clear vessel. Most people aren't. They, in fact, like to tell other people how to live life. They're called adaptive children, but let's not tell the children that they're children, shall we? Because then they're going to want proof. We don't have proof for them. All I know is it's very clear because my nervous system picks up on your nervous system like your nervous system will pick up on mine. And mine will confuse the ones who are trying to study me because I'm not studyable material. When you have a pure heart, because you know that the universe will always provide, it's not because the universe is always providing, it's that you don't lose your power. And so 5D collective don't need to reclaim. They're just loyal to what they love. And that would be, I'm a human, you're a human. I love having fun. I'm at peace with being imperfect and flawed. How about you? Are you at peace with it in a way that is an actual healthy self-worth person? So let's see, what else? The ability to follow your hearts can appear to others as careless or strange. Yet in truth, everyone wishes they had the loving openness of chartreuse. So the saddest part is that everyone is a 3-year-old if they only learn to live open-heartedly and spontaneously, but they're too busy with the shame cycle of inner critic, outer critic, then they deny it through sex, drugs, alcohol, food, and they withdraw, and they do it all over again with the same people that limit each other and stay within the unresolved trauma bit, or the trust break. It's stereotypes and stigmas. I've always seen the limitations of it, but again, gossip. A lot of town gossip, huh? People love to do this. It seems that people love to talk about each other and a lot more. And on that note, on this 12-12, let's not join them. Let's join the human love narrative. That's what I'm bringing to you. And we get to be smart faces, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable, flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable, integration of the brain, restorative, embodied self. It's the optimized whole 3-year-old heart. tune in for more, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember to treat each other kindly, please.